Well, hello there, fellow flight simmers and cockpit builders. Welcome back to another one of my Back to Basics videos. This one is actually an updated one about LEDs, direct connection to the Arduino. But I'm taking a little bit of a different approach on this one because I noticed that the video that I had previously made, a lot of the parts are still relevant and they're still good. So I'm going to concentrate more on just redoing the parts where the configurator is shown, because obviously the reason I'm redoing all these videos is because it looks nothing like when I recorded the previous videos. The only thing I like to say first is, like always, that I am not affiliated with SimVimX or Real Sim Control, and I do not represent them. I'm just giving you my point of view, the way I understand this material, so that I can try to help some of you guys take advantage of using this amazing plugin to build your home cockpit for X-Plane. Okay, but before we go further, I'd like to just mention real quick that as of the date of this recording, the plugin version that I would be using would be version 221A, and the DAT was dated on June 26th, 2024. Then the configurator, the way it looked and everything, is of the date of today, July 29th, 2024. Okay, another quick thing I like to mention is, although the website does look a lot different than when I recorded those original videos, I'm not going to re-record all the parts just talking about, LEDs and everything, because a lot of the images are still there. They're still exactly the same. The website just looks a little bit different. They basically separated all the different types of components into different pages. So instead of everything being on one page, now you have the DM13A LED drivers on one page, the HC595 shift registers on another page, and then the direct connection is going to be on another page, which is what we're going to be talking about on this video. And then if you want to use the Max 7219 matrix, if you want to learn how to make an LED bar graph, or also another thing that I think they added it after I made that original video, is that now you can use DM13As with output multiplexers, so you can make it a lot easier and multiply your possible options a lot more. So that's why I'm not going to re-record all those areas again. Like I said, I'm going to concentrate mostly on re-recording the part of the website of the configurator. Okay, before we continue with the website, I just want to bring this up real quick. So as most of you guys may already know, the anode, which is the longer lead of the LEDs, that goes to the positive side. And the cathode, which is the shortest part of the LED, goes to the negative side. And then on most LEDs, I came across a few of them that don't have a flat side, but they should have a flat side on the cathode side, which is the negative. And most diagrams that you see, they tell you to use the resistor on the negative side. But from what I've seen and read, it doesn't really matter which one is in, if it's on the positive side or the negative side. And if we go back to the website here, in the diagram that they show here, they actually show the ground, which is the cathode, just going directly to ground, and the resistor is on the positive side, going to the pin on the Arduino. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that for the purposes of the operation of the LED, it doesn't really matter. It's still going to limit the current and reduce the voltage going to the LED. So that's the way we are going to do it here. All right, and they talk about other ways over here doing other things with LEDs, or using the pins as digital outputs, which we're not going to talk about here. And of course, they have the shift registers, the 74HC595, which I do have a few of, but I haven't played around with them. But the reason I don't prefer this way of doing it is because you need to have a resistor on every single LED, just like when you do it directly to the Arduino. And I don't like that. I like the option with the DM13A, which you can see up here. You don't need to have a resistor on every single one. So it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to do it that way. Okay, if we go back to the table here, you can see that I have the 3 LEDs that I used previously on my other video that I already have pre-wired resistors onto them. And then I also have 3 big LEDs right here that I just want to see. I think you can see it from the angle here. You can see that these leads are the longer one, which would be the anode, the positive, and then you can see the other ones are the shorter ones. That would be the cathode for the negative. And that's the way I wire these over here. Is that this is the shorter one, which goes to negative, and this is the longer one which has a resistor on it, and it's going to go to the pin on the Arduino. Okay, I'm also going to be talking about these Cori type switches, which I've talked about before a little bit. They have a built-in LED light right here. They do need a resistor, because I noticed that you'll notice over here that I actually put a resistor. I'm not sure if that's focusing right. I actually put a resistor on there already, because I noticed that if I connected this one directly to the Arduino, it was kind of overpowering it a little bit, and it was kind of flickering, and that's the sign that it's starting to get damaged. So I'm gonna make another video about how to connect all these, but just for the purposes of today's video, just know that they have a bunch of pins, you know, and basically we're gonna be using I believe that the middle one here is for the LED. Let me see if you can see them. Yeah, the middle one right here is for the LED. This bottom one right here is for the push button, which I have the white lead connected on, and then the ground, I'm just basically jumping it over, because the ground, as you probably already know, can be shared across all your devices. Eventually it's going to end up all together, so it doesn't matter if you don't have to run a separate ground wire here. So that's what I've done here. And then this type of switch is just another momentary contact with a light built in as well, and it's pretty much the same thing, but this one has less I'm not sure if you can see that there. This one has less connections here. So these two outer ones are for the LED, and then the three middle ones, they're for the push button, but you can have a momentary on, or sorry, normally open or normally closed. So I chose to do it normally open, which is the way most of our buttons would work anyways. And once again, I've jumpered the ground, you know, to go to one single ground wire instead of using two separate ones. Alright, so just so you guys have some kind of idea what I'm going to be doing here, basically, let me take myself out of the picture here. What I'm going to be doing is connecting this red push button switch is going to be going to the, basically the button's going to go to autopilot warning clear, like when you turn off the autopilot, that'll be clear. And then the autopilot disconnection alert light, so it would light up, you know, when that alarm is going off. And then I'm going to use this Cori type switch here for the autopilot command engage, and the little light, even though it's not green like it's supposed to be, that's going to be the when the autopilot is engaged. This toggle switch here is going to be the flight director. Okay, and then I'm going to use a green LED for the flight director when it's on. That's going to be a green LED that I'm going to connect. The yellow LED is going to be the autopilot warning, and then the red LED is going to be the auto brake disarmed. So you'll see, you know, as I use those, you know, you're going to see how they perform and that they are working as they should, hopefully. Alright, so like I said, these buttons right here, they're basically just like a button and an LED, but they're together, you know, so there's nothing in there that should make you scared or anything just because they have a lot of leads and everything. Just treat them as a button and an LED. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this one first, the red one. That's gonna go to number 6 for that LED. So the button is on number 4 over here, and then the LED is gonna be on number 6, which is gonna be pretty next to it right there. So oops, as you can see, I have the ground wire going to the common ground over here together with all the other grounds down here. That's going to go to the ground going to the Arduino, you know, and that's the positive, you know, is going to go directly to that. Now this one here is pretty bright, but it doesn't get damaged, and it looks like it's okay with the 5 volts or the 4.9 volts coming out of the Arduino. So I didn't put a resistor on that one. Now for this one I did. So once again, the button is already connected. That one is connected to number 64 right here, which is 810, the analog ones. And then the ground is connected to the common ground over here as well. And the LED, which is this wire here that I have in my hand, that's going to be going to number 62 on the Arduino, which is A8. So, and I have the resistor here at the tip, you know, just to limit the current. So I'll go ahead and put that one on A8. Okay. For some reason it's lighting up a little bit, which is kind of weird. not supposed to be doing that, but okay. Let's see what happens. All right, and then now we're gonna go ahead and do the green LED right here. So the green LED is gonna be for the flight director to show when the flight director is on. So that's gonna be on number 41. So let me go ahead and put that there. 41, that's the positive side with the resistor on it. And then this is a common ground, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it in there. Now the yellow one is gonna be the autopilot warning light. That's gonna be on number 45. So that'll be right there, right next to that other one. And then I'll just put it somewhere in here. Okay, and then the red one finally, that's gonna be for the auto brake disarmed. So that's gonna be on number 49. So basically I'm skipping one and then using the next one. And remember, you know, these can go wherever you want them to go. And you know, even like I said, even these analog pins right here, A0 through A15, they can also be used for digital. So it doesn't really matter that they're analog ones. Alright, so now that we got it all connected, the only thing that's making me a little bit worried is that this light is on and it's not supposed to be on right now. But we'll figure that out right now. Alright, so we're going to go over to the configurator and we're going to start a brand new configuration file. So now this is where a lot of the things have changed from the previous time that I recorded this video. So if you never saw it, that's good, because this will be the first time you see it as it is now. But if you had already seen the other one, this is going to be the parts that might interest you. So obviously now, in order to assign something, you first have to open the type of component that you're trying to connect. So we're going to just go down my little list here that I made myself, and we're going to start assigning. We're going to start with digital inputs or direct inputs, and we're going to go to the aircraft, and we're going to use the 737 like always for all these things. So the red push button that's connected on number 4, that one's going to be the autopilot warning clear button. So we can come here, and this will be this one right here, and we're going to put that on number 4. Okay, then the LED that's associated with that is going to be the disconnection alert, but we have to change over to outputs. Okay, so the disconnection alert is going to be the red one here, so we're going to put that on pin number 6. Okay, the next one we're going to do is the Corey type push button switch, which has both an LED and of course a switch. So the LED is going to be on pin A8, so we'll do that one here since we're already here, and that's going to be for the autopilot command. So we need to close this part here. We'll open up the MCP and we're going to put the LED first. So that's going to be on pin A10. So that goes in there. And then we're going to do the switch on A8. But in order to do that, we have to close this and open up the digital inputs. So that would be on A8. That would be this switch right here, A8. All right, that's up for that one. Now the green LED is going to be on pin number 41. So we got to go back to the digital output, and we're going to do the autopilot flight director 1. Well, we can move this one out of the way here. So this little light right here, and that's going to be on pin number 41. So we can put that in there. And then the autopilot warning, which is the yellow LED, is going to be on pin number 45. So that would be, we got to go back to the bottom section here, and that would be the amber one, and that's going to be on pin number 45 right there. And then we have a red LED on pin number 49, which can be the auto brake disarmed. So that one is going to be, I think that's a little bit to the side here, so we can put that right there. That'll be on pin number 49. Okay, and then on pin number 51, we have the toggle switch for the flight director. So we need to close this again and open up the digital inputs. And we're going to go back to the MCP again. And it's going to be the switch for the flight director right here. And that's going to be on pin 51. Okay, so now that we have everything saved properly, I believe, we can go ahead and save our configuration file. And of course we have to leave, and we're just going to call it data. It's going to be in our X-Plane 11 resources plugins SimVimX folder like always. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. So we're here in Portland in our trusty little Zeebo 737. So we'll go ahead and go inside the plane. Alright, I think I got everything here in a way that you guys will be able to see everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and engage the autopilot here, and we should see that light come on right here, and we should see the yellow amber light flashing, which would be the same one that's gonna be flashing right here. Oh, right here, sorry. So let's see what happens. Oh no. You know what? I didn't engage the flight director. That's why it's doing that. But obviously you can see that the red light right there is flashing, as is the one right here. So that's good. That means it's working properly. Now if we turn on our flight director here, there we go. Flight director is on. You can see that the green light is on here, barely. You know, maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. Hold on. So you can see that the green light is on. The green LED over here is on, as it is here in the simulator right here. And you can see that the autopilot warning disconnect light is on here, and our red light is flashing here. Now remember, I assigned this push button to clear that warning. So when I push this button, that red light should stop flashing. So there it is. So it's working properly. Now that I have the flight director on, when I push the autopilot button again, I should just get this yellow one flashing right here. Alright, so I just noticed something very, very peculiar, because every time that I was testing it the other day to record this video, and every time that I remember using the Zeebo, I remember that when I used to press the autopilot engage button, the AP command, when I was on the ground or I didn't have any like heading or altitude or anything selected, I would just get the yellow autopilot warning light. But today it's not doing that, so it's probably just me missing something. But everything is behaving as it should, because that's exactly what I'm seeing in the simulator. So it's not like, you know, something here is not working properly. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the configurator, and we're gonna actually change the yellow light. I'm gonna make it be the auto brake disarm, and then I'm gonna make the red light over here be the auto throttle disconnect or disarm light, just so that we can still see them working. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go back to the website to change a few of these things now here. So the first thing we need to do is open up our digital outputs here, and we're going to change the yellow LED on pin number 45. We're going to change it to auto brake disarm. So we got to open up this section here, and it used to be that before you can just select whatever you wanted to put, and when you would try to put it there, it would just ask you if you wanted to replace it. But now it doesn't do that, so we have to delete it, and then we're going to just go ahead and say okay. Then we can select the auto brake disarm light and put it here on number 45. And then the red LED that's on pin number 49, we're going to change that to the auto throttle warning disconnect. So we need to go back to this one here, and it's going to be the auto throttle this one here. We're going to do the red one here, and we're going to put it on pin number 49. But like I said, right now you can't just select it, so we have to actually click on it, delete it, okay, and then you can select this one here and put it on pin number 49. Okay, and now that we're here at it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the flight director switch. We're going to switch it from the flight director to the auto throttle. So we need to open up the digital inputs again, and that's going to be on pin number 51. So let me see if this one actually does what it's supposed to do. So if we select that switch and put it on here, it actually asks you if you want to append a new parameter. So I guess if we say okay, then you're going to have two, and that's going to be like if you want to use selectors, but we're not going to talk about that on this video. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and remove the flight director one from here, and then we can go ahead and save our configuration file once again. And we want to overwrite the data that we already have, so we're going to click on that so it can change the name here, and then we can just put save. And now we can go back to the simulator, and we're going to reload it. So let's see. So right now the auto throttle is on, the flight director is on. So let's just go ahead and do the autopilot again. So yeah, it's doing the same thing. You know, the command does not light up, but I am getting that warning light, which is the one that we're seeing right here in our physical buttons. So now I can go ahead and push that one and clear it. So that's good. And then right now the auto throttle is on, as you can see right here, because my toggle switch is up. So if I put it down, we should see that red light come on right there. So yep, there it is. So that's working properly. And if I turn it back on, that red light should come off, which is exactly what the sim is doing. Alright, and last but not least, we got the yellow light right here, which we're going to basically use for the auto brake. So if I go to the auto brake right here, and you can see that if I go down, it'll stay on momentarily, then turn off, which is exactly what, whoops, exactly what it did right here. Whoops. There we go. So you see exactly the same thing happening outside. Now if I go to one of the auto brake settings, it should stay on, and that's exactly what it's doing. Alright, so now I got all those lights going here, just to close it out. So that's pretty much it when it comes to LEDs, direct connection. You know, you just you seen exactly what I did. We went through the signing of parameters for each one of them, and everything is working. I mean, everything is working the way it should, as long as the sim is working the way it should. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with that autopilot thing right there. It never had done that before until, of course, today when I'm trying to record the video. But I'm pretty sure it's just something that I'm missing on my part, even though I think I did everything exactly the same. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I have another one planned already to make, the one for the DM13A, which is also related to LEDs, but you know, we're going to connect a lot of LEDs with only using one pin on the Arduino, which is great. And then after that, I have one on Cori switches, or Cori type switches, that I want to explain, you know, how to do those, because they are a little bit weird. Alright, so thank you guys very much for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one.